Alright, so we're going to go into Borresen.
And people think that the internet is digital transmission. It's analog.
I'll slip in here.
It's square waves. And of course you have noise. It's an analog signal as any other signal. And that's where we are strong. But 2 years ago, if you asked me what do you think about streaming, I hated it.
He doesn't want it.
It's like, oh fuck, I couldn't have it.
Yeah.
It was very convenient that you can find it more or less any piece of music out there, and also music that you can never find on vinyl or on CD. I was wrong. Normally I'm not wrong except when you ask my wife. Different story. Then I'm wrong the whole time. So noise is an issue and you have to address it. And I will show you a few things which can address this issue. Have in mind that we have Wi-Fi now. And we are talking not only about 4G anymore and 5G. We are talking about in the future maybe 10 or 20G transmission. And if you don't think the next pollution on this planet is not about CO2, it's about noise. And a lot of doctors are telling you, don't do this. Keep it away, or have a proper microphone in front of it. So we have different kind of noise, and one we have to address in the first place is power and the distribution of your streaming. And that, we actually have 2 switches on it right now, because we didn't have a LAN cable long enough, so we make it twice. But distribution, you really have that in mind, is important. And if you want to streaming in this quality, and QBox for us is far the best. I mean, when they're talking about Tidal Plus and all the other, QBox is superior. The only problem is why I still have Tidal is they don't have as many pieces of music as the other guys, but they're superior in quality. Is the CD dead? Yes, absolutely, it's dead. I didn't see that coming, because when I heard streaming in the first, I said, fuck. It takes many years, maybe even many decades before the streaming will kill the CD media. That's not.
They sell more vinyl than CD now.
Yeah, but vinyl, I'm an analog.
But it shows you how the decay
I'm an analog
of
fucking
the CD.
That's something analog can do. It's because you have to remember when that cartridge moves in that groove, they make mechanical movements into electrical signals. And the speakers are doing exactly the same, but the other way around. There's a handshake, because it's a high quality turntable. Is that a fantastic musical media? Yes, it is. That's why it survived. And if you come to see us in Denmark, you will know when you have, I have a first pressing of the Beatles. And when you hear even the reference recording they made the Beatles for some years ago, is it sounding good? Yes, but if you hear a first pressing of the Beatles compared to the remastered Beatles, you will just do this. So the first pressings, I'm lucky I'm born when Denmark we didn't print, or Germany didn't print, and US you didn't print the Beatles albums, so you imported them from UK. I hate when there was a German journalist come to see me for a year ago, and I have an original master tape of Beatles. He said, "Fuck you, you cannot." If you have had to do a little bit with tape, reel to reel, in many years, you can hear a copy from the layer below. So you're losing the magnetic field on the tapes. But the very first tape, I know a guy, Graham Garner, who actually I learned him. They made some beautiful returns for some decades ago, called Morgan Audio. And we went out one night in Liverpool, and we went to this pub, and there was a live band in there. I said, and he went up there and said, they haven't tuned in the guitar slots. I can't have this. So he went up and tuned in the bass guitar, the rhythm guitar, and the lead guitar. And then he went down to the mixer pult and said, "Hey guy, move, it's totally out of balance." And then he came back to my table, our team said, "Where do we have this from?" "Oh, I have been a studio guitarist for many years, but I have also been the substitute of the band, George Harrison and the band The Beatles. Okay. So I said, and I asked him directly at that time, because these guys were talking about original master tapes. The generation of copies. The very first master tape they make the first generation of copies out of that. That's what we call first pressings.